So,
I think we're live.
are we?
Oh my. People are already commenting. So here it is. So it's kind of funny. The first comments are coming from none other than Mr. John Balcazar, my husband. He was so excited to be able to come on this now.
It's pretty special to finally let guys in because it's
I
been a
know.
no boys allowed zone for about a year almost. So,
I know. And it's
yeah.
not that we don't like the guys. I mean, we hang out with you guys all the time. We love you guys, but it was just a really cool group that Amy started, and Amy Herberger. Did I say that right?
I think that's
Herberger
correct.
or
I think it's
Herberger?
Herberger.
Okay,
I think
good.
that's how Anthony had her on a podcast.
I know. I think that's how we pronounce it too.
And I'm pretty sure that's what he asked her, and that's what she said was correct. So, yep,
Cool.
we're right.
Yay, awesome. And it is cool this time. We can actually see who is commenting, so that is fun. All right. Yeah, so you guys, if you guys obviously you probably are aware of the Girl Boss, the Merch Girl Boss edition, and we've actually done a few videos. We just kind of started this. We're just doing a few videos within the group, and we definitely like and embrace the rest of the community as well. So it doesn't have to be just a girl thing. We do still have our group, but this is going to be the co-ed page. So we can all collaborate together here. And I know we have some thank yous that Amy wants to go over.
Yeah, so Amy Herberger wanted to make sure that we thanked all the other group owners for sharing our new page and for everyone who has liked our page so far. So thank you for your support because this is pretty special and who knows what can happen here. So we are very grateful for y'all's support.
Absolutely. And we are looking forward to like bringing some other people on and chatting with some other people because I just love, just with merch in general, every time that I talk to somebody that is, taking the business seriously, it seems like everybody has their own little spice about it. And I love that. I love that there's so many different ways to succeed with it. And there's so many different things that you can apply to your business, and you'll start figuring out your own, special recipe. And so it's nice that everybody in the community is just, for the most part, give and share and help, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and that's definitely what Girl Boss has always been about. Sharing and helping, no matter where you are in your merch journey. If you're just waiting for an account and being approved, or if you're at the 10 tier, the 25 tier, or the 100,000 tier.
Wait, there's 100,000 tier?
There is. It's the Amy tier. Amy Herberger.
It's funny because I know that she had posted that in a group and people were like, yeah, well, that's photoshopped because nobody really knows. She's not out there like saying it, but for all y'all out there, it's for real. And Amy Herberger is out there. So now we actually get to, hopefully we'll get to pull her on here for you guys and, share her with you because she's awesome. If you guys have not checked out the pin post on the page, please go do that. You'll get a little bit of her personality in there, but I'm sure for the additional posts that she's going to do, you'll get that. Just no nonsense, straight to the point, doesn't take any crap. So that's just how the page is. Very positive and just very real, and I appreciate that. So it doesn't get all messy, all muddled up. She's very focused on just really helping people, supporting the different types of resources that are out there, the ones that actually provide really good value. And she doesn't do any type of affiliate stuff. And I don't think that's horrible if people do. There's nothing wrong with that. But just so everybody knows, that's not what goes on. If there's anything that she shares with the group, it's just because she or, somebody that uses it believes that it's a really good, whether it's a tool or resource or whatever, and just coming from a place of just wanting to share and help and, promote some good tools. So I love that.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Amy is she is so supportive. She wants to see other people succeed because she knows there's enough success on merch for all of us. And she's really like, she helps people. I mean, she takes the time out of her day to answer questions, to point people in the right direction, to cheer people on. And that's what the vibe of the entire group has always been. So hopefully that can translate here too as we continue like following in her footsteps and helping this new part of what she's created so far. So it's exciting.
For sure, for sure. Well, how about give a little bit of your backstory and let's chat a little bit about you, because obviously, you know, I think in the group we kind of get a feel for you know, each other and whatever, but you know, there's probably some new people here, and this might be their first intro to us. So tell a little about yourself, Amy.
Okay, so I'm Amy Springer. I am not Amy Herberger, although I do wish to be her when I merch grow up. And I've said that before, but you know, it's new thing here. Anyway, I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 boys. I live in San Antonio, Texas. I absolutely love merch. I eat it, drink it, sleep it, everything. It is an incredible opportunity. I am only in the 4,000 tier, but I am eligible for 6,000 if I could just get t-shirts loaded and pop sockets.
Pop sockets.
I'm knee deep in pop sockets right now. I love it. But other than that, I mean, I really love merch. I love the community. I'm in all of y'all's groups. I'm watching all of your lives, listening to your podcast, and just taking notes. I have a lot of I'm a fan of a lot of y'all. So this is really cool. But that's pretty much it. I mean, you'll learn more about me, I'm sure, as we talk and all of that. So what about you?
Got a lot on your plate then, huh?
I do. Yeah. But I wouldn't trade it for much. So
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people do. I think that a lot of people that have come into this, whether they have a job or they've had other businesses or whatever, so finding a way to balance that and realize, you know, what a killer opportunity this is, and just kind of figure out how to get in a groove with it so that you can continue to be productive with it. And I think it's really nice to be able to share, especially I think that's a lot of in the Girl Boss group. There are a lot of moms on there, and I think that helps to, you know, hear people like, oh my gosh, you know, with their kids, or maybe they're working from home, or maybe they actually do have a job as well. And, you know, and here you are, 3 kids, homeschooling, you know, rocking it out. So I just think that's really cool to be able to hear different backgrounds. And so, yeah, I'm Amanda Balcazar, and my husband and we team up on everything that we do. We've actually been in business together for the past 12 years. Almost as long as we've been together. And so we started out in doing just online retail. And initially we did just books and CDs. And we literally, you know, you hear the stories about, oh, you can go to Salvation Army and you can go to charity book sales. And that was us. That was us in the beginning. And my husband was a financial advisor at the time. I just fell into it randomly. But anyways, and he decided he would come home and he'd help a little bit, you know, after work. And then it just got to the point where we're like, all right, well, let's just come home and do this full time. So it's been, actually, we've both been doing it full time together now for 9 years. The first 3 years he was working at his other job. And then we now do mostly private label stuff. We're working on building brands. We've been doing that now. It'll be 2 years in, I think we started 2 years in the summer, but it was mainly, the main start was in September of 2016 is when we really started focusing on private label. And then it was merch that kind of came along in August, right at August of 2017 is when I really got serious about that. And it's just been a blast ever since. So I really find that the private label and being an online, in online retail is a very nice relationship with merch, because there's a lot of things that cross over. It can be a lot different as well, but there is a lot of crossover. And I think one of the things that I'd like to share with people, especially if you are kind of new to being in a relationship with Amazon, is that if you're experiencing things and you're hitting frustrations and you don't have hot sockets yet and, you know, all these things, and you think that stuff's unfair, you guys just settle in and embrace it, because that's just how it is. You know, I mean, we've literally been with them for 12 years, and it's absolutely a love, hate, respect, appreciate type relationship, just because obviously there are those frustrations and there are things that you're going to be like, well, obviously at this point, maybe this isn't fair or whatever, but you guys, they are just a beast. They are a huge, huge, huge company. Ultimately, they do want what's number one, what's best for the customer. And that kind of puts us, you know, distant third, actually, because you got customer, then you have Amazon, then you have us. But it's a great group to be in. I mean, they are just a killer business. And with that, I'd like to learn a little bit from them. You know, why are they so huge? Because they're putting the customer first. So, I mean, we got to take notes. I feel like it's almost like that tough love uncle. That's what Amazon is to me, is the tough love uncle. And when you get something and at first you're like upset or you want to figure out why, I try and take a step back and just have respect for, you want to say the genius that is that machine and how it's run and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's a killer opportunity. We love being partnered with them and everything that we've done. And, I hope that you guys are enjoying it as well, because it really is something special.
Now, coming at merch or Amazon from a more naive perspective, because I really didn't have a lot of experience with Amazon before merch. We dabbled in FBA a little bit, but nothing to really write home about. So merch was really the big thing. And what I like about it is I mean, yeah, Amazon is a beast. Everybody knows that name. And they do put the customer first. But I also think for us, merch, Amazon wants us to be successful, because if we're successful, they are too. So we put the customer first. We try to play by Amazon's, don't even try, just do it. Play by Amazon's rules. And Amazon will reward you for that, because they want all of us to be successful. So
they absolutely do. Yeah. It was neat because, for the longest time, it wasn't even, we weren't even really in the communities and stuff that much until merch. And now, we're involved in some different private label communities. We've been able to meet a lot of different people, and, that's awesome. But like the merch community really started that. And it was just a very positive, collective group of people that were really trying to work together and figure this thing out. And then, I had gone to the licensing expo in Las Vegas, and there was a good amount of merchers there. Some of the celebrity merchers, you guys would know, that do like some of the YouTube stuff. We had RJ and Matt and Aaron were there, and they have an awesome show that they do. Young was there from Glenn and Young, and there was just some really cool people. Ken Rio, got to meet him, Chris Green. I don't want to miss anybody, but anyways, it was awesome because we actually got the opportunity to hear from the people that are running merch. And so when they were talking, you could just tell that they really do appreciate the community. They appreciate everybody's collaboration. They appreciate people wanting to do better and wanting to do better within the program. And it wasn't just like because I felt like before there was just such that divide, because it feels like initially with the communication, if you're emailing them, it's kind of feeling like very impersonal. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you have lately, and I haven't had much communication with them lately, but in the past few months, it's changed dramatically. I feel like their communication is a lot more personal. And so I don't know, have you had any experience with that at all with them, or?
Here recently, I actually had to get in touch with them. I got a takedown notice, or not a takedown, a rejection for a pop socket. And I thought I'd done really well checking trademarks and everything, both for clothing and electronics, but I must have missed something. So I asked them, I'm like, hey, I apologize. I'm not going to upload them. What did I miss? The response did kind of seem robotic, but then it also had this very personal flair towards the end. So it was really kind of like I wasn't sure what to think about it. My answer wasn't my question wasn't exactly answered the way I was hoping it would be. Like, this is why. I didn't get that. But there was a person that's like, I hope this helped, gave me her name and everything. So that was kind of sweet.
Cool.
But aside from that, I really haven't had to contact them with my merch.
Well, that is definitely, I really think that's exactly, and it hasn't been that recent for me, but that's exactly what I'm referring to, because I remember back when we had communicated with them. Not everybody knows our story. I'm not going to get too deep into it. It's out there. I don't have much of a YouTube thing, but when I was going through, we had gotten suspended actually back in December of 2017. Totally error on our part, whatever, learn from it, nothing that we were trying to pull, but the communication was horrible, and it was so bad, and it was just really frustrating, because we, at this point, man, we were putting everything into it, and we were just like, there was no answers. You don't know if you're going to get on, if you're not going to get back on, are you going to get terminated? It's very vague. And that's just, you guys, that's probably how it's going to operate forever. I think it's just, it allows Amazon to be very, turn on a dime type things. So
Well,
they're
I
not
mean, it's
putting stuff in.
Amazon. That, and they have so much more to focus on. Right now everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, everything is still processing," and they are. And it's insane.
I know.
So, I mean, are they really wanting to tell you, okay, this is exactly why? They're not going to check all your trademarks for you. It popped.
Right.
You popped hot. It didn't work this time, and they're wanting to fix the bigger stuff. So, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But as long as we're doing our job, everything will be good. Following their rules and their protocols and checking literally almost every word in your listing.
I know that's a little different. No, talk a little bit about that. Then I think that when people are going to get Pop Sockets, if you guys don't have Pop Sockets yet, talk a little bit about the trademark stuff, how you're looking that up, how you're making sure that you're on the up and up with the trademarks and the Pop Sockets versus the T-shirts.
Okay, so I actually use a little bit of a shortcut. It's Tangent Test Rocks. It's a Chrome extension, and basically you just kind of highlight whatever you're looking to search for a trademark. Right click, hit the Tangent Test. It brings up the government website and searches for you. You can pick books, clothing, or electronics. So obviously you're going to pick electronics because it's 09, and it'll pull up anything that, like, if that phrase is trademarked, it'll show you whether it's dead, live, has registration or anything. That's what I do. So cool. I kind of cheat a little bit, like going the easier route because it's so tedious and it doesn't. Well,
when you're uploading a lot, and so Tangent Test, just so I spelled it right because I threw it up there. TANGENTTESS. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
So many fives. Okay. Yeah. Well, I popped it up there, so let's see if we can make sure, because I think that's something that's really valuable for people to be able to use. And so you're using that for Pop Sockets too?
Pop Sockets, T-shirts, everything. Because I mean, it's right there and it makes it so easy. You can just sit there before you go to submit your final product, you can just check everything right there. Just highlight it, right click, hit the button. It brings up, the government site. So it's legit. It's great.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like that's what it is. So I just went there and it is a Chrome extension. So you can just put Tangent Test in there. And
it was actually funny because in the Girl Boss group, I actually made a post talking about how good I had it with that extension for T-shirts because there wasn't the Pop Socket option. And sure enough, Catherine, I hope I said her name right, she's in the group and it's her software. So she's like, oh, okay. Wow. And put the electronics part in there for us. So I thought that was really cool. Girl
Shout out to her. Yes. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, I just think it's amazing when people are doing this stuff. They're like, yeah, that's mine. I'm like, that's what?
Oh, Ariana just shared. Catherine Shelton. Yes.
There you go.
Helping
Shout
you
out,
create
girl.
the future you want.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We'll throw so Tangent Test. Like I said, I didn't even know that was by Catherine Shelton.
Yeah, that extension has saved me so much time. Like, I still hate checking trademarks. Who doesn't? It is tedious. It's boring. It's not fun, but you have to do it. So tools like that really, really rock. So
for sure. And then, I guess we can talk about some of the other things that we love. Oh, it's so funny. So I'm going to comment on this because it makes me laugh. Kristen Harris puts, I'm in a long-term relationship with merch.
I hope I am too. That is the plan.
Right. Oh my gosh, you guys are cracking me up. So let's see on here. We got any other comments or questions on this type of stuff? I'm not as good at some of the people that are getting on here and being able to keep up and like they read the comments and like they don't even skip a beat, but I'm sure we'll get better at all that kind of stuff. So.
Hey, this is the first time we've done this, so
right.
And I mean, we've only done a couple in the Girl Boss group, so it's not like we're pros yet.
No, and not one with this when we're trying to read. But this is cool to be able to see who was actually commenting because we were in the group. I think because it was a private, we actually couldn't see the names on there. But okay, so I was trying to think. There was one other thing that I was going to specifically bring up. Oh, just talking about like some of the other tools that were used. I know that there's a couple things that we've been, raving about really recently. I think for me, the top two that I've enjoyed for the longest time and have continued to be amazing and just continued to improve like crazy is both Merch Informer by Neil Lesson and Merch Momentum by Michael Essany. Those are ridiculous. So those started very early on, and it's been very cool to see Merch Informer just continue to evolve and into just this powerhouse program. I mean, I don't even scratch the surface of what it all does, but it's nice to know that it's there when I need or when I want it. So are those two of the two things that you enjoy too?
Yes, those are two tools in my box that have to be in my toolbox. Merch Informer. Unfortunately, I neglected Merch Informer for the longest time. I've had it since the beta testing, and I kept it because I'm locked in at the beta price, and it's like, well, that's the steal, so I'm gonna keep it. But it wasn't until watching a lot more of RJ and Matt's YouTube and Merch Elephant and seeing how they are using Merch Informer, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I've been doing a complete disservice for myself because I haven't been using it to its full potential. So here lately, I just watched all of RJ's earlier stuff. So I'm using merchresearch.com and that extension, and then watching Matt Sheeran. I hope I'm not butchering their name. I'm sorry.
Okay, Matt Sheeran.
So, and I've been watching his videos, how he's been using Merch Informer with the Merch Momentum Guide. And yeah, it's a gold mine. So yeah. I've been playing, those two right now have been the big ones for me. I've really been going strong with that.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, that's the thing too, you guys. If you guys, I mean, you just heard Amy, she's at tier 4,000 and she's watching RJ's earlier stuff. Why? Because you're going to pick up stuff and different things. I mean, this stuff is out there. And that is, I mean, RJ started, he was one of the first ones. There was two between RJ Martinez. I started watching his earlier stuff right in the beginning, and then the Jersey guys. So those were the two that I started watching in the very beginning, and it was just really cool to see that come along. And then Matt and RJ collaborate on a YouTube show together. They get a lot of great guests on there. They share a lot of awesome content, and each of them do their businesses dramatically different as well. So it's cool to get each of their perspectives. And then I always, when people just, there was just a shout out in the Girl Boss group to somebody that had reached out to John and I a while ago. They actually do private label stuff as well, but they wanted to figure out, okay, how do I get rolling with this merch thing? And so we actually chatted on the phone, and one of my biggest things is I'm like, you have to go to Merch Elephant YouTube channel. Like, he does such a great job with the teaching aspect of it and breaking it up into different videos. And that's Matt Sharon's YouTube channel. So that's one of the things, he gives incredible content there. Really, really good teaching, talks about like the different data, the research, and keywords, just everything. So just go there and check it out. And it's, if you're missing, part of it or whatever, that's a really good place to lean on. And then, one of the other things, what else John was just using, so he uses a couple things. He's gonna kill me because it was Merch Batcher, I think was the most recent. Merch Batcher, because there was Merch Lister Pro. I know that was one of them that helps speed up listing, and I think he is actually using Merch Batcher. Maybe if he's on here, he can tell me which one. Go ahead and type in the comments, because we were just talking about this the other day. When he's listing. And then there was the Merchinator. He has a bunch of, I had actually been using the Merchinator for a while, and so you can just apply different filters to your designs. It's a really simple program, but I use Illustrator and I use Photoshop. And so for me, I was just doing that, myself, whether it was creating distressed look or whatever. And so I was just kind of racking up credits, because basically with the program, you get additional credits, whatever. Well, John went in there and he actually has an account, and he uses Over. So that's all he uses. Like, he's not using any design tools or whatever. So he uses Over, which is amazing if you have an iPhone. He loves that program, and that's what he built his entire account on. He's up at tier 1,000 now. And so he's built an entire account on that. I think he started in February. He got approved for it. And so and now he's using the Merchinator like crazy. He's blown through all my credits. I'm like, well, you're just gonna have to get your own credits now. So it's just a really, really simple way to bulk edit. And I think a couple of them though, I went through the folders, and I have a group of niches, and I was like, go ahead and do those, because he can do them. He can literally highlight all of them. Like, you can bulk edit. So he highlights all of them and then throws them in there, and they come out distressed. I'm like, I don't want to distress. There was like 30 some files in there. And I was just like, you just do it. And it was like done like that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool.
And that was on the Merchinator?
Yeah, the merchant. And I think you get like 100 credits a month, if I'm not mistaken, for like $10. And they have a ton of different filters. I've done some, and I actually, it's funny. I did some gold filters, like, you know, like shimmery. It looks like shimmery gold. And I was wondering, like, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to come out good on shirts. And then I saw somebody wear one. I think it was Anthony. He was wearing one, and it had like the gold on it from the digital printing. And of course, it's not like shimmery gold, but it looked pretty good. So I've actually used that and the rose gold. None of them have gotten returned. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I like actually highlighted, it was just some text that I actually applied that to. But I mean,
I like that one too. I love the soft rainbow. I don't know why. I just want to put everything in a soft rainbow, and they sell really well too. So
really, I didn't use that one.
I haven't.
I can't use it now because John uses all my credits, so I can't use it now. I'm gonna have to have him get his own. I want my own credits now.
But I'm obviously slacking because I have like 2 months that have just rolled over. Because I'll go in there and it's like, oh,
well, that's the thing now. No, that's the thing now. You can just bulk, like if you think of, like I said, it was, they were racking up for a while and he just flew through them just because with the bulk editing. So it's kind of nice. Just let them rack up. And then once you get going, you can just throw a bunch in there.
And like Amy Herberger said too. So if you have Merchinator, if you sign up for Merchinator, you get access to Anthony's insider group too. Which is actually a really, really great group.
It is a really good group. I mean, they talk about stuff that's like the kind of like,
it's like Fight Club.
Yeah, it's true. And I think
they find out you talk about Insider and you're going to see yourself outside. So.
Yeah, my husband's kind of a bouncer in there, so you guys better be careful. He's not
he's the one with Lucille, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that post. I was like, God, I need a nugget. What can I share? He's like, they're going to can my ass.
No, he's such a big teddy bear, but he likes to play that way, so that's kind of funny. But no, one of the other things, I think that was the first time that Amy had shared that 1,000 tier was in the inside. And it wasn't anywhere else. So I was just like, ooh, she's dropping it in this group.
But then I think, and I don't know who, and I don't know where, but I think it got out because then she's like, well, before anybody else hears it from other people in the Girl Boss group, she shared it because it's like somebody might have said something.
If we find out who that was, you're out. So let's see what else has helped. Like I said, I hate trying to do this and potentially leaving anything out. But there's just been so much. And I think that's kind of what compelled me to share when I can, when I have time, whatever, just because truly I just appreciate so much of what I was able to learn in the very beginning. I mean, it was just amazing. So, yeah, let's see if we have anybody else on here. Oh yeah, he's got the Merchinator on there. All right. So, yeah, what other tools what do you design with?
I design a lot with Procreate. I'm actually doing a lot more graphic-based designs than I am text, but I also love Over. I'm definitely a mobile designer. I don't have time to just like sit and learn Photoshop and all of that. So I have Procreate, the Affinity Photo on my iPad, and Over, and that's pretty much the 3 that I use the most.
Very cool. And I bet you're having fun. You know what? Do you have the pencil, the Apple or pen or whatever it's called?
Heck yeah, I do. That thing is amazing.
That's awesome. I wish so it's funny when we first started, like back in college, I took a design course. It was just like one semester, whatever, but I learned like basically it was the basics of Illustrator, the basics of Photoshop. And I didn't use them a whole heck of a lot afterwards, but I knew enough to play around with it. And so I started building from there and watched some YouTube and stuff like that. But I had gotten a new iPad with the pencil, and we invested a good amount into it. And you know what? It just wasn't for me because I didn't want to have to learn both at the same time. I think it was Procreate, and there was a couple other ones on there. And we just wanted to continue to get designs, going really well. I was like, I just need to focus on Illustrator and really continue to learn and build on these skills. But I think the freedom with the pencil, it could just be amazing that you could actually like create, whatever you want. And I know you can kind of do that in Illustrator, but I'm not that great. I don't like draw or I don't illustrate. I wouldn't consider myself an illustrator. I feel like I'm kind of like a hacker. I can do stuff with like the words and I can do stuff with vectors, but I don't really, illustrate per se.
And right there, that's the beauty of merch. Like, it's not a one size fits all thing, and your strengths are different than my strengths, but it all works. And it's great for the consumer too, because it gives them so many different options where it's quality stuff, but it's done different. See, that's the one thing about like the Procreate app and why I love it so much is I am kind of creative and artsy. So like I can draw. And
that's cool.
I mean, I'm not like Picasso or anybody. No one's going to be buying my stuff when I'm done. But
for t-shirts, that's
buy my stuff, and it's fun.
That's cool. And I popped
but Illustrator, oh my goodness, the lines thing and bringing them up and making I don't even know. I'm like, nope.
I probably don't even know. I've still been learning. I mean, I pop up there and I'm looking at the different YouTube videos all the time. One of the resources, if you guys do know Illustrator, one of the resources that's helped me learn little by little is called Spoon Graphics. I think that Erin Sharon, Matt's wife, has actually turned me on to that. And she was an interior designer, so her background is design. So she uses Photoshop, and it's so funny because we'll chat back and forth, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I want to learn, how to do this in Illustrator. Illustrator frustrates me so much," and I'm like totally opposite. Like I bounce into Photoshop to do something like distressing or something, but like that program just drives me crazy because I don't really know it all that much. So we're like opposites. But Spoon Graphic, it is really, really awesome. They have a lot of great free resources on there. It's a blog, but I think it's like the $10 a month on there, and they have amazing tutorials. They give vectors, that kind of thing. But I actually popped up Matthew. He put, I work on a computer 8 hours a day, so mobile design is a must. I don't know what there is. Somebody said that there is a different way. If you have an Android, there's a different program. Does anybody know what that is?
I don't because Apple's better.
Right?
No, I don't know. But there is one. There is
I actually made my mom get an iPhone because like she always wanted me to help her with her phone, and I was like, I'm not learning your phone too. Like I have no problem helping you with your phone, but you're just gonna have to. So now she has an iPhone, which is fine because obviously there's FaceTime and stuff too when she has a grandbaby. So I think that helps a lot as well with what she wanted to encourage her to get it. But yeah, I don't really know. Somebody's gonna tell us about how they're gonna be able to design with with their Android, but nobody's said it yet.
No, but the Adobe Capture app got a little bit of love in the group, in the chat. Okay, so Adobe Capture, I thought it was only for like taking a picture of something and making it a pretty vector, but apparently you can make some pretty badass colorful patterns with it too, which are great for pop sockets. And I believe it was Dawn who shared that in the Girl Boss group. And Gianna and Ariana are saying that it needs to be talked about. So that's a really, really awesome.
I'm excited to play with that. So is that an app?
Yeah, it's an app. Like you literally you can take pictures of anything, and it makes it into different style patterns, and it's incredible. And you can vectorize them too, so they look good no matter what size. It's pretty neat.
That is cool. I am all over that.
Secret is out tonight, y'all.
It is, everybody.
Y'all just stole my tool. I'm just kidding. I borrowed it from y'all.
See? No, I think that's something that's really neat. And what I think I'm going to do is we're going to be busy because we're going to be moving over the next like week, basically. We're going to kind of spread it out a little bit. But I'm going to be pretty mobile there. And I think I'm going to force myself to kind of play with it and learn it because, in the mix, that'll be kind of fun to experiment with and still get some work done. So
yeah, and it's very simple, user friendly. So
awesome. All right. Well, I think that we've kind of touched on a good amount of our tools and stuff that we use. I don't know, if anybody has any questions for us, go ahead and throw them in the comments here. We're going to keep this one kind of nice and tight. We usually run, anywhere between 35, 45 minutes. Depending, I know we're going to be having some awesome guests on here. So I don't know, is anything else you want to touch on, Amy?
Well, I think tonight was mainly just kind of introducing the new new page, which is really cool because you can invite your brothers and your husbands and your boyfriends and all the guys can now be girl bosses too for a minute. And the group's still girls only, but this is a great way to just kind of open up and let everybody in. So.
Oh my gosh. So my husband just said, yep, I have it. I can take a picture and completely vectorize. See, he's keeping it a secret. That's what happens. That's what happens when we're like, you can't be in the Girl Boss, and now he's keeping stuff from me because he's like, this is war. He wants to bring up his account too. Oh, that's so funny. Oh yeah, his tier 1000 count just got pop sockets a few days ago. Ariana's still waiting on pop sockets. Man. How are you making titles for patterns? I found that's something that I've been thinking. So Matt says, how are you making titles for patterns on pop sockets?
Well, for me, I try to research what different patterns are. Like, is it chevron or mud cloth or, you know, whatever, just kind of things that I've looked up. But I found just describe the colors, because I think a lot of people are like, I want a pink trendy pop socket for my phone. Yep. And that's what they're searching for. So definitely try to hit on the colors. But as far as patterns, if there's like triangles or diamond shapes or things like that, you know, put that in there. It's not going to hurt. It's really tricky. I don't think anybody has the science down yet because pop sockets are still so new. But just describe it as best you can. It's hard.
Yeah. I agree. Same thing with the color thing, because, and this is just going back to what I had a pop socket before these came out and whatever, a couple of years ago. And I literally, because I got like it didn't have glitter on it, but it looked like glitter. And I think I put either like hot pink pop socket or just something like that. And so I went hot pink, and and of course everything came up. You had all of these different things. So for sure, I think that is one of the top things to make sure that you're putting in there is the color. Because if people are searching for, I think that's probably one of the things people are searching for. Of course, if you have something on there like whatever, a sloth, then that's going on there. You don't have to say brown sloth, because I don't think somebody's searching for brown pop socket. I guess I could be wrong, but at that point they're searching for sloth, you know. So, and
just like Amy just said in the chat, you know, colors and design and niche, hit on those three, and you're probably gonna do okay. You're gonna get it on the right eyes. And then Dawn mentions words like geometric and boho and astral, and boho's big, like bohemian chic, like people go crazy over that stuff. So those are really great.
I think a good strategy,
whatever your husband just said, like, I did not go to that class in school, so I don't know what that is.
I think he's making stuff up.
Think it's crazy geometry over here.
No. But I think too, go both ways. When you're looking for, because if you're making the pattern first and then you're going to the keywords, that's fine. But you know what? If you're struggling with that, flip it and like study a style first and then create the patterns, so that at that point you're kind of getting the groove and you're learning both ways. You know,
which is smart, because then you're literally designing for a specific audience, which can really help too with your keywords and how to market it.
Yep.
Not a bad idea.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm not thinking that we have any other. I want to patch you up. I'm not thinking we have any other questions on here. So anyways, really, thank you guys, everybody, for liking the page. Again, thanks to whoever had shared it in the group. I think it's amazing. I think there's such an awesome collaboration and mutual respect with all of the communities, and we greatly appreciate the support. We want to do our best to bring you guys some awesome content here and have some fun. That's definitely what we're going to do. So be on the lookout for when we do some more pop-up lives. We don't have a regularly scheduled program at this time. We actually popped in on Matt and RJ's slot today, but that's only because they weren't doing one today. I think they took the day off because it was the 4th. So we slipped into their their time slot. And yes, happy 4th of July to everybody. But we won't be planning on doing this regularly at this time, because y'all should be watching Matt and RJ's Real Talk for sure. They do it at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, maybe we'll get into a regular scheduled program. I don't know, but regardless, we're going to try and pop on here for you guys at least once a week. So I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. And if all your stuff we know, if you guys were working today, it's stuck in processing, just suck it up, and it'll come out when Amazon gets it out. But we're all in the same boat.
Pretty much.
No.
And if y'all
guys.
have any questions for our later show, just drop them in the comments, and we'll try to get those answered on the next show. So
yeah, that would
whenever
be awesome.
that is.
Yeah,
sometime next week.
We like to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys.
Thanks.
Yep. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Yep. Thank you.